Have you ever imagined that, at this very moment, somewhere in a tropical rainforest, an animal might be carefully selecting a plant not to satisfy hunger, but to treat an illness? What if I told you that many animals don't eat certain leaves simply for nutrition, but because somehow they know there's medicine there? Picture a chimpanzee deliberately chewing a bitter leaf to fight parasites, or a bear rubbing tree sap onto its fur to soothe itching and inflammation. We're not talking about coincidence or random behavior, but intentional choices that reveal a deep connection with nature. Today we're going to explore the planet's true natural pharmacies, a world where every leaf can function like a pill. For decades, scientists believed animals selected food purely based on nutritional instinct, but researchers began noticing something surprising. Sick individuals were seeking out specific plants that were not normally part of their regular diet. Studies with chimpanzees showed that weakened individuals chewed extremely bitter leaves rich in antiparasitic compounds, especially when they displayed clear signs of intestinal infection. Similarly, pregnant African elephant females were observed consuming bark from particular tree species shortly before giving birth, plants they did not eat at other times of the year. These repeated behaviors raised an intriguing question. Do these animals recognize symptoms and actively seek treatment? These observations opened the door to the discovery of a hidden world of natural pharmacies, where survival depends not only on strength, but also on botanical knowledge. When scientists analyzed the plants chosen by these animals, they discovered that many contain bioactive compounds with proven pharmacological effects, such as alkaloids, tannins, and terpenes with antiparasitic, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial properties. Some leaves consumed by primates act directly against intestinal worms, while certain types of bark eaten by elephants contain substances capable of stimulating uterine contractions. Plants used by bears include components that reduce inflammation and act as natural insect repellents. This means we are not simply observing curious behavior, but rather a complex chemical interaction between organism and environment. Nature developed these compounds long before modern science isolated them in laboratories, and many human medications are derived directly from these same plant substances. As they move through the forest, these animals seem to be walking down a living pharmacy aisle, selecting with remarkable precision exactly what their bodies need. In the African savanna, female African elephants have been observed seeking out specific fig trees days before giving birth, consuming parts of the plant that contain compounds capable of helping induce labor, as if they can biologically anticipate the right moment. In the northern hemisphere, brown bears rub asha roots into their fur, using the plant both to repel insects and to relieve muscle pain after long treks. In Peru, capuchin monkeys consume rough, low-nutritional leaves whenever they show signs of intestinal parasites, using them to help expel worms. These behaviors are repeated consistently and strategically, reinforcing the idea that this is not simple experimentation, but targeted responses to specific physiological needs. Each case strengthens the idea that a silent form of knowledge is at work within the animal kingdom. The big question is whether these behaviors are purely instinctive or whether they involve social learning, and evidence suggests there is a significant cultural component. Young animals often observe adults selecting certain plants and later reproduce these behaviors throughout their lives, indicating that knowledge can be transmitted within the group. Among primates, juveniles learn which leaves to chew and when to use them by watching more experienced individuals, suggesting the existence of a shared botanical tradition. This brings animal self-medication closer to traditional human medicine practices, where knowledge about medicinal plants is passed down from generation to generation. In this sense, the forest becomes not just a habitat, but a natural school where survival and learning go hand in hand. The study of animal self-medication has generated strong scientific interest because it may guide the discovery of new medicines for humans. When an animal consistently seeks out a particular plant during illness, it suggests the presence of effective compounds worth investigating. Researchers analyze these plant species in search of active ingredients that can be adapted to modern medicine, recognizing that animals may be pointing us toward therapeutic pathways that remain underexplored. However, this also raises important ethical questions related to conservation and biodiversity, since the destruction of ecosystems could mean the irreversible loss of potential treatments. Protecting nature is not only an environmental issue, but also a global health strategy. As every preserved forest keeps alive a medicinal library we are only beginning to understand. There is something profoundly inspiring about the idea that an animal, without hospitals or scientific language, can recognize signs of imbalance in its own body and seek healing from the earth, reminding us that intelligence is not limited to technology, but also expressed through the ability to observe, learn, and live in harmony with the environment. Animal self-medication reveals that nature has always been a powerful ally in health, and that we still have much to learn from those who remain so intimately connected to it. Every leaf selected, every piece of bark chewed, and every root rubbed into fur represents a chapter in a silent ancestral medicine that continues to be written every day in the world's forests. If this topic sparked your curiosity, here on the channel, you'll find many more fascinating stories about pets, wildlife, and scientific secrets hidden in nature. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and continue this journey with us, because the more we understand animals, the more we discover about ourselves and the incredible planet we share.